Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, this is the big one, isn't it? This is the question on everyone's mind. Is this the beginning of World War III? Before we dive into the deep end of the pool, I have to say that everything that we're discussing here is alleged. These are my own opinions. My storytelling style with the tarot and the oracle is for entertainment purposes only. We're looking at the energy, the symbols, and the hidden circuitry of the world as it stands on this Saturday, February 28th. And as of Saturday, February 28th, the strikes on Iran have happened. The smoke is real. And now we're asking the question that's vibrating through the entire global grid. Is this it? Is this World War III? Is it Armageddon? I've spent some time tuning in, protecting the space and the cards, and they have a story to tell. So let's begin with the first question, the secret handshake. Is there a private agreement between Russia, China, and Iran to act as one team against the United States? And the cards I got are clocking in. I'm using the Simply Black and White Tarot deck and the Echoes of the Unsolved by the Reckoning Company. These are great cards. Anyway, so is there an agreement between Russia, China, and Iran to act as one team against the U.S.? So I got the clocking in card and the card chase. So look at this man. He's hairy-chested, he's bearded, he's wearing a construction vest, and he's laying bricks. He's clocking in. I feel like this is Iran. They aren't just reacting. They've been putting in the work. They've been laying a solid foundation for this moment for years. So this tells me that there is a that the handshake between them is real, but it's more like a work order. They aren't just friends, they're business partners in a project to build a new world structure. And look at the card chase. We had this in the last reading. The inside interior of a police car and sirens blaring. This is an interior view, and the sirens, the high speed, the pursuit. This means the team, or China, Russia, is currently in a high-speed getaway. All of them. It represents all of them. But I feel like it's saying that Russia and China, they're kind of like coming to the rescue now. They're speeding to the rescue. To clock in to the chaos. And the agreement between them is we're all in the getaway car together. So it's not a formal treaty that they have. It's more like an understanding. It's a shared escape from the old U.S.-led system. So they are in cahoots. They are supposed to be supportive. And but the question was, is there a private agreement between all three of them? And the answer is yes. There is a real deal here. Iran, Russia, and China have been working together behind the scenes for a long time to build their own system. And right now they're acting as a getaway team to dodge U.S. pressure. And it's a business partnership against the West. Question number 2 that I asked the cards. We got Shattered, Broken Mirror, and Final Warning. And the question is, boots on the ground, will Russia or China send their own soldiers and planes or just weapons to the fight? So we want to know, will they actually engage, put boots on the ground, or are they just going to send weapons? So we got the Broken Mirror, which is showing a woman who's looking at a shattered reflection. And it represents the self-image of Russia and China right now. It says that they are lacking confidence, self-conscious, low self-esteem, needing constant reassurance. So that says that they are lacking confidence. They don't want to see themselves as the aggressor in a full-scale world war. So they're hesitant. They have a constant need for reassurance before they commit their own boys to the dirt. But the final warning, which is a statue, like the justice statue holding the scale, but her sword is down. But it says final warning. Can you see that from here? Okay. It's hard to see in my screen, but usually when I see it on the boob tube, it looks pretty clear. So the final warning, the statue of justice with the scales up and the sword down, is the metadata of the moment. The sword is down for now. Basically saying one more step and the reflection stays broken forever. So the answer to the question is, they are sending weapons and final warnings, but they are too self-conscious about their global standing to send boots yet. They are hiding behind a shattered image, waiting to see if they can win without getting their own uniforms dirty. Excuse me. So Russia and China, they aren't sending troops yet. They're scared of how the world will look at them if they start a massive war. They'll keep sending weapons and threats, but they're staying on the sidelines for now to keep their reputations from being totally destroyed. Next question I asked the cards here is the gas pump in the grocery store. Will shipping routes shut down and cause prices to skyrocket in America? Skyrocket even more than they already are? And the cards that I got in answer to this question is express yourself, a woman with a bullhorn, and hidden passage, a woman peering through what she's found, I guess a hidden passage. Duh. So we have a woman with a bullhorn. This is the voice of the conflict. This is the emergency broadcast. It means the disruption will be loud. It's going to be talked about everywhere. And it's a show off of your skills moment for Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. Did I say that right, Hormuz? But the hidden passage is the kicker. A woman prying open a secret door. This tells me that while the main shipping routes may be loud and blocked, there are hidden passages, black markets, back channel shipping, and secret oil routes being open. So the reality is, yes, prices will scream, people will scream about it, but the elite and the system are already prying open a hidden door to keep their own pockets full. The average person will hear the noise, and the puppet masters will use the secret door or the hidden passage. So prices for gas and food they're going to go way up if this war continues, if this conflict continues, because Iran is going to make a lot of noise blocking major trade routes. However, there's a secret back door, this hidden passage for the rich and the powerful, to keep their goods moving for themselves, while the regular public will pay the higher prices. Question number 4 that I asked of the cards is the midterm glitch. Will the U.S. midterm elections be stopped or delayed as a result of the conflict we're now having with Iran? And I got puppet master and armed suspects. Can you see that? Armed suspect? A man in shadow with a gun. Looks like he's waiting. So this is the darkest part of the reading. Sorry about the glare. The puppet master, 2 hands, strings attached to a limp body. This is pure manipulation. It's toxic, controlling relationship between the government and the people. It's saying the election is a marionette show, clarified by the armed suspect, the man in black with a mask on and a gun out, waiting for the right moment to shoot. So there is a trigger event being planned, an armed suspect energy, meaning a staged threat or a real assassination attempt around midterm time, will be used as a reason to pull the strings and mess with the election. The puppet master wants to use the war as a reason to pause the limp body of the democratic process, and they are waiting for the right moment to shoot the election cycle down. Bam, bam. So yes, there's a chance that the elections might get messed with. I don't know if they'll be canceled, but they'll definitely be messed with as a result of this. The people in power are planning to use a violent event like an assassination attempt or a major security threat related as an excuse to delay the voting. They're treating the public like puppets to stay in control. So, yeah. The final tally, let's get to the big question, right? The last question that I asked of the cards. If you're enjoying this reading, please hit the like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, I have a Patreon link in the description box. If you'd like a personal reading, I have links to book your readings in the description box below. Okay, so is this the beginning of World War III, Armageddon, or is it just a scary cleanup of the current world power structure that's corrupt? And I got head in the clouds and confidential file. A man putting a file, he's got a stack of files, but he's putting one file in this black box. So let's look at this man with the head in clouds. You can't see his face, but he's lost in a fog of illusion. So this is the public's view. The World War III we see on the news is the illusion, right? It says daydreaming, fantasies, illusions, wishful thinking. So the World War III that we see on the news is an illusion. It's the head in the clouds energy designed to keep us focused on a daydream of Armageddon so that we don't see what's actually happening. Because look at the clarifier, we've got confidential file. This is the real work that's being done. This is all part of a higher plan on one layer that will help to ultimately arrest the corrupt world leaders and clean up the world's power system when it all plays out. But right now, this war, to answer the question, this conflict, maybe it'll be a war, but it's not going. This conflict is a distraction from the cleanup that's really happening. The higher plan to expose the corruption. So this isn't a world-ending war. The news is showing us a fantasy that will keep us all scared and distracted. In reality, this is all part of a higher plan, Spirit is saying, that will help to arrest corrupt world leaders and clean up the world's power system as it plays out. The reason why confidential file is here is because he's trying to keep the files confidential. He's trying to keep it from coming out. That's what the distraction, that's the motivation behind the distraction. We all know that. But that's what this is. This war is but a distraction in a higher plan that will ultimately result in the exposure and hopefully the dismantling of this corrupt world power system through these confidential files. So that's what's really happening and why it's all happening. That's what I get from these cards. That's what I read in the energy of these cards. And it's just energy, folks. Whether or not it plays out, we'll see. But I hope that you enjoyed the storytelling and my perspective on it. And if you have suggestions for future readings, please leave them in the comment section. Please engage. And please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. Tell them about me. Help me to grow this channel. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you. And if you'd like to support me, there is a link to my Patreon, which is under another name, but there's a link to my Patreon in the description box as well. All right, guys, take care. Well, wait a minute. I'm not sure I want to sum up. Let's sum up the entire reading. I don't think I did that. I think I forgot to do that. And I like to do that. I like to summarize everything. So there is an alliance between Russia, China, and Iran. And they're working together like a getaway team to bypass the U.S. system. The strategy, Russia and China aren't sending their soldiers. They're not sending boots on the ground yet. They're staying in the background to protect their image. The costs for prices of gas and food, they will skyrocket, causing people to protest and scream. And Iran is showing their power by doing this. But the elites have their own hidden passage or secret doorway to keep things moving for themselves. The election itself, will it be messed with? Yes. And they may use a violent or triggering event related or an assassination attempt to try and stop the midterm elections. Not sure about the assassination attempt part, guys. But the energy's there. So let's leave it out there. Let's leave it out there, see how it unfolds. The result is, despite the World War noise on the TV, it's but an illusion. This war is a distraction from the cleanup that's really happening around the file, related to these files, related to this Epstein network. This is all part of a higher plan, Spirit says, a divine plan that will help to arrest corrupt world leaders and clean up the world's power system as it plays out. We hope. Hopefully that's not a delusion. Sorry, that's the pessimistic part of me seeping through. My apologies. Okay, Spirit, thank you for that. Thank you for the message. So we aren't watching the end of the world. We're not at the end of the world. We're not going to, this is not the beginning of Armageddon. We are watching a controlled cleanup. And it's messy and it's loud. And it's going to be expensive. And there may be and there will be deaths. But it's all happening to wipe out the old corrupt power structure, to expose it and wipe it out. And the truth is coming. That's all I have for you folks. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.